Hey everybody, welcome back to Stadia Arcadia and another episode of me talking about all things Stadia. Today I'm going to be talking to you about some of the latest updates we've had in the world of cloud gaming, including Stadia's own blog update, Microsoft's xCloud, and why I think Stadia is onto a silent winner right now. So here we are again, another case of getting exciting news from Stadia. The whole community's buzzing, everyone's chatting about it, what's new, what's around the corner, and then bang, out of nowhere, xCloud drop a bomb and everyone's going crazy. xCloud's dropping 15 new titles, including the Stadia flagship game, Destiny 2, although it's not clear yet to me if this is just going to be the base game or the full DLC like we've got on Stadia. Within the community, there seems to be a lot of people losing their minds about this, reverting to Stadia's doomed, Google are going to bury it, Xbox for the win, yada yada, all the same sort of stuff that we've been getting all along. But let's take a closer look at this. Firstly, Stadia have just announced that they're tracking 120 titles this year. 120. That's equivalent to 10 games a month for the rest of the year if you break it down. I mean, I know we're not going to be getting 10 games a month, but that just means that in some months we're going to be getting flooded with choices. Kind of a positive and a negative in some respects. Some people don't have that much money out on it. But it's impressive all the same, and 10 of them being exclusive titles, which are probably going to be timed, but hey, exclusive's an exclusive at the end of the day. If it only comes to Stadia and you don't own it, then you can't play it. In the same way that if Death Stranding came to the PlayStation 4, it's a timed exclusive. We know it's coming to other platforms later in life, but if you want to play it now while it's new, while it's relevant, then you have to go out of your way, buy into a brand new console and play the game. So you're paying $40, $50 for the game. You've then got to pay out for that whole console as well. It's a big buy, but that's what you've got to do if you want to be the early adopters. One of the things, though, that I do think that Stadia is going to have as an advantage, an incredible advantage, is that if you want to play that game when it's out on Stadia, you don't need to go and buy the Premier Edition. You don't need to go and buy a Founders Edition or have a Buddy Pass. Once base is live, you will just be able to go in there, buy the game, and play it. And you'll be able to use any other control. We already know that. At the moment, they're wired, but actually saying that, the Switch will do it wirelessly, so that's helpful. It just gives you that freedom of, I don't want to go and drop $200-300 on a console just to play that one game. You'll just be able to buy the game and play it. And if you want to play it at the full fidelity, then yeah, you're going to have to sign up for a month at £10, $9.99. To get that game in 4K at 60 frames per second, HDR enabled, 5.1 surround sound, providing the developer builds the game to be able to do this. And if you don't want to play it after that month because you completed it, cancel your subscription. It's done. It's that simple. Okay, you haven't got a physical game to trade in, but you don't get much for trading them in these days anyway. Plus, there is the additional benefit that you're likely going to get the additional 1 or 2 games that are out with the Pro Bundle that month. It's a big benefit to be able to know that you can just drop it, pick up games as you want to, play them in 1080p with no additional costs, as well as being able to play it on multiple different machines. You'll be able to play it on your PC, your laptop, Android phones, tablets. One of the updates we'll be talking about shortly is what they're bringing to that. But if it's supported by Stadia, you can play it there. You don't have to pick up everything and plug it all, take it somewhere else, plug it all in again, get it all set up and running. It's just so much easier, and that's the beauty of having everything in the cloud. It's, like I say, it's the price of the game, and maybe a tenner if you want to play it in its true glory, but a lot of PC gamers that play the games and supposedly PC Master Race at the moment don't have a 4K 60 frames HDR setup. It just costs too much money. To be able to do that for a tenner, providing your internet's strong enough to pull it through, it's a massive win for Stadia. It's the thing that got me excited for it when I first seen that release of, this is a true cloud platform. It's going to change the industry. It's going to change everything that we know about it. and we're still getting a lot of flack, but it's just a matter of time, guys, really. And obviously with this comes that xCloud dropped Destiny 2. That's kind of what they're pushing here, that they've taken it away from Stadia. Well, they haven't taken anything away from Stadia. As it stands, Stadia gets the much better looking version of the game. Alright, we don't have native 4K, but we do have 60 frames per second, which arguably to me is more important. It certainly feels a lot different. It feels way more responsive. It looks sharper, even though it's an upscaled resolution for Stadia. I don't honestly think it makes any difference. Everyone that's playing it on Stadia says the same thing. You guys have already seen that I was part of the blind test, the Google pop-up event in London last year now, and I, with most other people, picked Stadia as being the better looking version of that game and the better feel for playing that game. I'll link the video in the description below for those that haven't seen it, just so that you can see it. It's not my video. It's multiple people playing the blind test and then revealing what they're playing. It's well worth watching if you haven't seen it already. And another big thing is, I know Destiny 2 is the flagship Stadia title, but that's only because they're giving you the full suite of DLC. It's not that you're getting Destiny 2. Nobody really cares. That game came out in September 2017. Most people that were interested in that game have played it by now. And if not, then yeah, it's a little bonus for them. But it's more that it's a 2-year-old game. It came out on the Xbox straight away. All the DLCs have come out on the Xbox. They're not getting anything on xCloud that they didn't have on the console version. In fact, they're getting a worse version of it. It's 720p. You can only play it on your mobile screen. You can't hook it up to a Chromecast and play it on any screen that you want. You don't get any of these options. It's a vastly inferior version of a game that's existed on the platform for 2 years. Doesn't hurt Stadia at all, in my opinion. And if that's what they want to do, then let them crack on. That's going to doom them more than it's going to help them. The other games, to be honest with you, I didn't even look at what it was. I seen that it was Destiny, knew what was going to happen, went into the Discords that I'm part of, seen it, Twitter, seen it, Reddit, seen it. It's going on everywhere. It's just people are getting way too angsty about something that really doesn't make a big difference. It's certainly not going to impact Stadia in a way that people are expecting it to. Everyone that's playing Destiny on Stadia right now got it for free. We're not losing out on anything. For Q1, so they released a community blog update last week. I forget what day it was now, but the details of what they're going to be giving us, and they're pretty impressive, especially as, like I say, this is only for Q1, and we're already 2/3 of the way through January, so we're talking coming shortly, or we hope should see these starting to roll out shortly. I doubt they're all going to drop in one go. They'll probably roll them out one at a time to make sure that if there are any bugs that they can actually address these and work through them quickly. Now, to me, the most important of those updates was 4K support through the web browser. So, like I say, I play a lot of my Stadia through my PC on Chrome, and having 4K support there is massive to me. It just means a lot. It means I don't have to shift around to play it on the TV in the living room if the other half of the kids are around and I've got some spare time. That doesn't happen when the kids are around, but it means I don't have to say, oh, look, I really want to play this and I want to play it in 4K, so can I have the TV to play this? It's pointless. The point of Stadia is that you can play it anywhere on any screen at any time, providing you have an internet connection. So allowing users to use their full potential of whatever devices, screens that they've got is massive to me. I don't understand why it wasn't rolled out like that to begin with. Clearly there's something to do with maybe the way that the compression works and the encoding works, that the Chromecast Ultras that were supplied with the bundles did a lot of that work, whereas the Chrome browser clearly wasn't up to the task yet. But hey, it's coming. That's a big bonus to me. I think that's probably the winning thing of the update for me. The games are great, obviously, we like to know that, but that's going to take a long time to reach that We've seen so many games get delayed this year already that I would imagine a percentage of the Stadia games are also going to get affected by, well, we already know they are. I mean, Avengers being one of them is pushed back to September now. It's not a huge loss to me. I'm not sure if that's a title I'd pick up, but even so, it's a game that was coming to us, that was coming very soon and now isn't. But I mean, we've got Doom coming very shortly. There's a lot of chat, by the way, about people saying that maybe the March free game is going to introduce a new title, being Doom 2016, to go along nicely with the launch of Doom Eternal, which obviously we're starting to see a lot more footage. It looks like embargo lifted probably about 3 o'clock GMT yesterday, and we got flooded with videos. It's everywhere. It's a fantastic looking game. Definitely one that I'll be picking up on Stadia. I can't wait to get involved in that. But I've sidetracked now. So yeah, I was saying that obviously the quality of 60 frames per second, 4K, HDR, 5.1 surround sound coming to the Chrome browser, that's a really impressive update for me. But onto that, actually, good segue, that they are also releasing wireless support for the Stadia controllers through desktop, so laptop, PC, actually it will include phones most likely as well, through Bluetooth possibly. Obviously the controllers don't link to devices via Bluetooth. They need to be on the same Wi-Fi connection, but they do use BLE to communicate with each other to make sure that they're there, so there is in essence a Bluetooth there, but it's Bluetooth low energy for those that aren't aware about it. I'm not going to go into that now, but it's just a way for devices to communicate and know that they're there so that they can work. But again, this is a feature that should have been there from launch. There's no reason the Stadia controller shouldn't have been able to pair with the Chrome browser. Whatever it was, it's coming. That's all we need to know, and that's another big update, so that I don't have to be tethered when I'm sat half a meter away from my screen. It's just going to be there, and that's what we need. Getting everything as easy to cram together as possible, so I can just pick up my controller and I can play my Stadia experience wherever I want to play it. They're also rolling out additional support for more Android devices, which, as I've mentioned this already, so I think it's going to be everything from Android Oreo up, probably Pi upwards, but maybe Oreo upwards. So the last two big updates for Android devices, I would imagine they're not going to go too much further back than that to start with, because most of the people that are going to use Stadia on a phone or a tablet, it's probably going to be within that time frame, I would imagine. I mean, obviously they've gone from the Pixels, which is Google's own phone. It's clearly working there. I mean, we've seen plenty of people rooting Android devices and getting it to work already. So I don't see that there's going to be a big struggle on this. I just think they're being smart about rolling it out slowly so that we don't get a mass of people with 5-year-old phones unable to keep up with what's required. At the end of the day, there still needs to be some hardware within that device to encode and decompress the stream itself and show it to you. And the display needs to be half decent. Nobody wants to look at a Nokia 3310 size screen when they're trying to play a game. It needs to be a decent size screen and it needs to be clear. This is one of the reasons why I'm really looking forward to them battling whatever it is they've got to do with iOS to get full Chrome support, rather than just wrapping Safari in a Chrome banner and everybody thinking they've got Chrome. You haven't. It isn't the proper Chrome experience. It's one of the reasons why at the moment it's just not possible to get Stadia on an iOS device. On a mobile iOS device. I haven't actually looked into iPads, but I'm pretty sure they don't work. The desktop's probably fine now. They had a bit of a rough start, but I've seen things working. Again, I haven't looked into it. I don't own any of those products. I just have an iPhone. It's just a really good display on the iPhone, so I think lending itself quite well to Stadia in that sense. a lot of people are going to say that it's Google, so they're going to be more interested in Android than they are anything Apple, which is true. They will be, obviously, but it's still a big portion of the player base that would be on iOS, regardless of what else they have, and allowing people to access that would be a big issue. It's one of the things that I've seen a lot of people recently talking about, the number of Stadia app downloads representing how many players use Stadia, and that's pointless. You need it to sort of set up your control and that, but I don't think it's a representative of how many people are actually using Stadia. For a start, where are those numbers coming from? Because I see different numbers than what a lot of people are quoting. I don't want to get into that anyway, it's for a different video, but I think there are plenty of players out there on Stadia as a platform. When you consider this isn't even open fully to the public yet, it's not a beta, it's more early access, but it's paid entry essentially at this point. But you are getting quite a lot with that. You're getting a control, you're getting a Chromecast Ultra, you're getting 3 months of Pro subscription, which is 30 quid. We will have had 6 free games by that point as well. You're getting quite a lot for your money there when you consider entry levels for the Switch, PlayStation, Xbox are considerably more money and generally get considerably less. I think I remember my Xbox One came with 1 title, my Switch came with 2, my Xbox 360 came with a couple, but I adopted quite late in that. But either way, they were all sort of at least double the price of what I've paid for Stadia, and to be a founder as well. So I'm fine with that. I've got no problems with how that's worked out. But the other thing that, we've got the Google Assistant, is the other part of the update, that they're bringing more features to Google Assistant. They haven't said what that's going to be at all, actually. It just says rolling out more functionality. Maybe we're going to see more sort of voice activity of launching different things. Maybe you're going to be able to invite people to your party or send messages, play music, maybe. I think that's probably a bit early yet, but even if it just connects into Google Assistant that people may already have, I don't know what they're planning with this. I don't have any Google Assistant products at home. In fact, I only noticed the other day that there's a small microphone in the control because I haven't used the feature at all yet. It's kind of a byproduct of Stadia for me. It's never really been that exciting. It's not something that I've thought, oh yeah, that's massively game changing. It's just not going to happen for me. But I'm sure there are lots of people out there that are fed up with people already using Google commands and videos and setting off all their equipment, so I'm not going to go there. Okay guys, the last thing I want to do, I want to wrap this video up shortly, is to talk to you about a partnership that Google have just done with Stadia and BT over here in the UK. For those of you that don't know who BT are, they're British Telecoms. They run all of the phone lines with other companies, but they're one of the major providers. We've got BT, Virgin, Sky, and TalkTalk. There are other companies, but they are kind of subsidiaries of the main 4, really. And BT probably have the larger lion's share, I would think, still to this day. And if you take Virgin out of the picture, they are able to offer the highest speeds, I believe, in the UK from fibre, and rolling out fibre to the premises at the moment. It's quite a big push. It's going to take a few years until people get it in the likes of places where I live. But regardless of that, they have partnered now. It's available on their website that if you order select packages, you get a Chromecast Premier Edition free. I say free because I don't think the deal's that good, if I'm honest with you. It's great that we're seeing additional advertisement for Google, for BT as well, and it's potentially going to get Stadia into the hands of more people, which I'm definitely up for. The more people that play it and actually experience it, the better it's going to be for us. The more players there are, the more content we're going to get, and the better the community is going to be as well. The problem that I have with the deal is the cost of it. To qualify for it being free, the Stadia bundle, you've got to sign up to an 18-month contract for your broadband, and it's a minimum price of $39.99 a month. Now, that only gives you internet and phone line rental, but it's still only your internet. I pay £14 less for mine than that, and the difference in speeds that I can get here is roughly 6 meg down. The upload is slightly better with BT than what I can get with my provider, but it's certainly not worth me paying that additional money. If you look at what you're actually getting and look at the price of what it costs to just buy the Stadia package yourself, it's £720 to enter that contract with BT. £720 over 18 months, but that's a long time, and there's no telling what differences we're going to have in internet connectivity by that point. 5G will be way more established by the time you're getting through that contract, and if you shop around, you would be able to get a similar deal with similar speeds and buy Stadia yourself and still save money. So I feel like maybe Google should have reached out to other providers a bit more on this, got a little bit more of a feel for what's actually out there and what's going on, because a lot of people aren't going to be that interested because of the price. I certainly wouldn't be buying it at that price. I would just buy it directly from the Google store and have everything the same, but not be tied into an overly expensive contract at the same time. I would imagine BT threw a lot of money out there to get this on board. They tend to try and get these deals a couple of times a year with different kind of tech, and Stadia's definitely going somewhere. When people like BT are trying to get hold of it as well, it's a good sign for us. Like I say, I would just go and buy it from the Google store and shop around for a better deal on your internet, but that's up to you guys. Finally, guys, I just wanted to say what a great job the community's doing at the moment. The content creators that we've got out there, the Discord channels that we're all mixed into. There's no sort of favoritism or trying to beat each other to drops. Everything seems to be shared. Everyone's chatting about everything to do with Stadia, and it's just a really good job. I just hope that Google eventually pick up on this and actually kind of talk to some of these groups of pods, if you like, of Stadia fans and creators that are out there, because I think we're doing a lot of your work for you, Google. And I know you're pretty much expecting that. You're gearing up Stadia to be able to take over Twitch, essentially. You brought on a load of new streamers, high-profile streamers. It's a really good move. It's showing us that you're getting ready for these player instances that we've been hearing about for the last sort of 6 months now. It's just, we just want to start seeing a bit more communication and maybe a little thanks here and there from some of you guys. It'd just go a long way, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap the video up here now. So thanks very much for coming by. If you've liked anything at all in the video or found out anything new, please give us a like. And if you've not been here before, subscribe to the channel. It helps me a lot. And the little bell next to that is going to let you know every time I'm out live streaming. I have changed my schedule recently. I'm doing less on the live stream, and I'm going to try and get a bit more content out to you like this. I just think it's probably a bit better. There are not necessarily the best titles for streaming out on Stadia at the moment. Some of them just lend themselves better to playing the game than watching somebody else play it, I think. There's nothing wrong with that. It's, if anything, it's a good reason to go out and get Stadia. But at the same time, I just want to do a bit different, a few more videos, and not commit quite so much time to playing things that not everybody wants to see. It's a cutthroat industry out there, and I think we're doing an amazing job at getting everybody the attention that they deserve and need. I've got some new things coming up very shortly, which I'm not going to tell you about just yet. You'll see them very soon. But thanks very much, guys. Like I say, leave me some comments in the comment section below. I'm going to put a couple of links in the description for my socials where you can reach me, Discord groups, that sort of thing. And like I say, give us a like and a subscribe if you haven't already. It's very much appreciated. And I'll see you next time. Thanks very much.